Breaking news. Things are heating up behind the scenes in Patriots Nation. But before we dive into everything that's going on, make sure you've already smashed that like button if you believe the Pats have what it takes to make it to the next Super Bowl. Man, I seriously believe it. This team has the fire, the drive, and the pieces to go all the way. And if you believe it too, type it loud in the comments. Go Pats! I believe. Let's get into it. The Patriots are 6 days away from the start of training camp, and just when it felt like optimism was building, a bombshell update has the entire fan base holding its breath. Stefan Diggs. Yes, the same Diggs that was out there grinding with Maye, cutting sharp routes, looking healthy, explosive, is now the centerpiece of a potential setback. And it's not coming from rumors or wild speculation. This comes straight from Chad Graff of The Athletic, a journalist known for measured, accurate reporting. According to Graff, Diggs is likely to start training camp on the PUP list, physically unable to perform, which could sideline him for the first 4 games of the season. But let's pause and unpack what this really means. Training camp officially opens on July 23rd. Between that date and August 26th, there's flexibility. Players on the PUP list can still be activated as soon as they're medically cleared. But that August 26th deadline, that's a brick wall. If Diggs isn't cleared and activated before then, he will be forced to miss the first 4 games of the regular season, starting against the Las Vegas Raiders. It's not a hypothetical, it's a rule. And that's what has fans and the front office walking a very fine line. Now here's the twist. If you've been following the off-season footage, you've seen Diggs running routes, working out with teammates like Kendrick Bourne, Hunter Henry, and Rhamondre Stevenson. He looks like a player who never even tore his ACL. Fast, confident, cutting on a dime. He's been out there in North Carolina with the full squad, syncing up with Maye and showing flashes of why the Patriots went after him in the first place. It doesn't look like a guy who's still recovering. And yet, he isn't cleared. Not by the team, not by the doctors. And that's the only opinion that truly matters. So we've got a standoff. On one side, Chad Graff, who firmly believes Diggs will start the season on the PUP list and miss 4 games. On the other, NFL insider Albert Breer, speaking on NBC Sports Boston, took the opposite stance. Breer said that Diggs is actually trending toward being ready for Week 1. He pointed to the injury timeline, a tear around Halloween, and emphasized that by the end of August, Diggs will be 10 months post-surgery. In the world of elite-level athletes, that's a viable timetable for return. Breer believes Diggs might start camp on the PUP list, yes, but he also believes he'll come off it in time to
D-Graff and The Athletic, or Albert Breer and NBC. Here's what we know. If Diggs isn't 100%, there's absolutely no reason to rush him back. The Patriots' early schedule isn't a murderer's row. Raiders, Dolphins, Steelers, manageable. Diggs is 31, coming off an ACL tear, and his long-term value is far more important than forcing him into a Week 1 appearance at 80%. But if he is cleared, and if the tape doesn't lie, this team could enter the season with a legitimate weapon on the field and not just on paper. But here's the kicker. Even if Diggs is healthy, this wide receiver room still needs help. Last year was a brutal reminder of what happens when you lean too hard on improving talent. Pop Douglas, Keyshawn Bout, these aren't WR1S. They're not even WR2S. Kyle Williams is an intriguing rookie, but no one's expecting 1,000 yards out of the gate. Kendrick Bourne is aging and declining. And Mac Hollins? Chemistry takes time, and he's brand new to this system. Enter Terry McLaurin. That's right, Scary Terry. According to Albert Breer, the Patriots have shown strong interest in McLaurin, and with his contract situation in Washington stagnating, there's a real chance he could be available. The Commander's wideout went public with his disappointment over stalled negotiations. If things get uglier, he might just request a trade. And if that door cracks open, the Patriots need to be the first team on the phone. We're talking about a guy with multiple 1,000-yard seasons, 13 touchdowns last year, and the ability to immediately transform this offense into something formidable. You pair a healthy Diggs with McLaurin? That's a nightmare for opposing defenses and a dream for Maye. A legit WR1 on both sides. Experience, explosiveness, production. The Patriots would go from thin to dangerous overnight. Let's not forget, the team already tried to make a splash back in March, reportedly offering $30 million to Chris Godwin. Why not give that same money, or more, to a younger, healthier, and more dynamic talent like McLaurin? The logic is undeniable. If the front office was willing to pull the trigger on Godwin with his injury history, then McLaurin, who's hungry and healthy, should be a no-brainer. Even if Diggs plays, even if he's elite, This team needs more firepower. You don't win in this league with just one weapon. You need depth. You need options. You need insurance. And Terry McLaurin is exactly that. So here's where you come in. What do you think? Should the Patriots take the risk and trade for McLaurin? Or stay the course and bet on Diggs returning at full strength? Drop your take in the comments. Type T if you trade for Scary Terry, or P if you pass. Let's hear it, Patriots Nation, because this might be the decision that defines the 2025 season. And while you're typing your answer, think about this. How much longer can this team afford to wait? The Patriots have spent the last few years hovering in mediocrity, testing young quarterbacks, cycling through coordinators, and leaning on a defense that has held the line far too often without proper help from the offense. This is the year that's supposed to be different. This is the year where everything, from Elliott Wolf's front office leadership to Jerod Mayo's stamp as head coach to Drake May's emergence, has to start coming together. But it's impossible to take that leap without wide receivers who can truly stretch the field and make plays. Even with all eyes on Stefan Diggs, his potential absence at the start of the season underscores a much larger truth. This roster isn't complete yet. The Pats can't afford to bank the future of their passing game on hope and health. And when you look across the league, teams that win, teams that dominate, they don't wait to be reactive. They strike first. They load up. They give their young quarterbacks every weapon they can get their hands on. Right now, Drake Maye is being asked to step into one of the most demanding roles in football, leading the New England Patriots back to relevance. And he's doing it under the microscope of a dynasty-era fan base in a post-Brady world with sky-high expectations. Giving him Diggs is step one. Giving him McLaurin is the leap. Let's not pretend these opportunities come around often. McLaurin, if made available, would be one of the premier wide receivers on the market. He's not a guy who needs perfect conditions to thrive. He's played with a carousel of quarterbacks in Washington and still produced at an elite level. Put him with a talented rookie QB, a system that values route precision, and a team desperate for production on the outside, and you've got a perfect match. And look, I get it. The Patriots aren't traditionally aggressive when it comes to blockbuster trades. But we're not in the Tom Brady era anymore. You don't have a QB that can elevate average talent to greatness. You need the reverse. You need stars who can elevate your QB. And here's the uncomfortable reality. If the Patriots don't act now, someone else will. You think the Chiefs wouldn't jump on McLaurin? You think the Jets or Dolphins wouldn't love to add that kind of weapon to their already stacked lineups? Every day the Patriots hesitate, the odds increase that a rival makes the move first. And then what? You're back to hoping Kendrick Bourne has one more solid year left in him. You're crossing fingers that Keyshawn Bout makes the leap. You're praying Kyle Williams can do something no rookie wideout in New England has done in decades. Become a star immediately. It's not good enough. Not when you're trying to build around a franchise QB. Not when your margin for error is this thin. And speaking of Drake Maye, let's talk about what all of this means for him. So far, he's checked every box. Reports out of OTAs and minicamp say the ball is coming out faster, his mechanics are tight, and his leadership has been impressive. But even the best young quarterbacks need help. Look around the league. Josh Allen had Stefan Diggs. Joe Burrow had Jamar Chase. CJ Stroud had Nico Collins and Tank Dell. It's no coincidence